At retirement, your whole financial life essentially collapses down to one binary question. Will your money outlive you, or will you outlive your money? Most people I meet with or speak with not only don't know the answer, but they don't know that that was the question. Let me give you an example. A non smoking couple of average retirement age, which is around 62, has a joint life expectancy of 30 years. So, in plain English, this means on average, the second person in that relationship will live past age 92. Typically, or currently, trendline inflation is about 3%. I know over the last couple of years, it's been much higher than that, but the cost of living goes up almost 2.5 times over a 30-year period based on 3%. So if you don't have a plan to increase your income as much as your cost of living increases are going up, then you may not realize it, but you have a plan for running out of money. One of my missions here at TAMMA is to help people make the right kind of plan and to realize these subtleties within compounding. And it's a much shorter, less complicated conversation than you might think. So the S&P 500 is made up of the 500 largest, best financed, and typically most profitable companies in the world. And these companies have been raising their dividends at nearly twice the rate of inflation. Did you know that? Rising dividends are one important reason why smart people have kept their retirement incomes growing well beyond their current cost of living. The only rational medium for a genuine advisor relationship that I have with people is to present these facts and to help coach them on the behavioral side of investing. Because let's face it, most people just want to look at the performance. And it really comes down to how do you make decisions in the heat of the moment? So, in the long run, how we define money is really in how we define purchasing power. Currency isn't money, it's just currency. And it loses some of its purchasing power every year because of inflation, as we just talked about. So even if you perfectly preserve your principal, you start with $1 million and you end with $1 million, your cost of living will double over that 30-year retirement time period. Since 1926, large companies in the US have typically compounded at an average rate between 8 to 10%, depends what index you look at. Bonds, on the flip side, have compounded somewhere between 4 and 5%. And then if you go back and include inflation, that has usually averaged about 3% every year, the margin of safety equities provides over bonds is almost twice that amount. And this is why I prefer to be an owner in companies rather than lending to them. And one of the pushbacks that I get on this topic is, well, what about the volatility, Paul? Like, I can't stand the ups and downs of the market. Well, there's no such thing as a free lunch. That's the price of admission, if you will, to be able to get the long-term compounding returns that these companies offer, as well as that really key component of compounding dividend increases. So volatility isn't the same as risk. Really, how I define risk is going back to that initial question, are you going to run out of money? Are you going to be able to achieve your plan? It's not about, the benchmark. I missed my benchmark by 1% or 2%. It's kind of irrelevant in the bigger picture, because all that merely matters is what is your plan and how are you going to achieve it? So the dominant factor in long-term real life financial outcomes, again, isn't so much your investment performance as it is your investment behavior. And that's really my true value in being an advisor and working with people, is to help them understand that. We can all put the numbers together, but when that plan is in place, it's helping people stick to it in good times and in bad. That's all for this week. We'll look forward to seeing you again next time.